Hello world, my name's Timster, and welcome to Tabletop Session, I think I called. This is basically a unboxing vlog, sorta, kinda. And I apologize if the camera angle isn't the best. I'm working on it for like card games and stuff like that. Anyway, this is my first real unboxing video, so I just want to show you guys what we're unboxing today. Yeah, there we go. Kaiba's collector box from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Trading card game. Now, I'm not really sure how unboxing videos really work, but I guess from this box what we get is, I don't know if you can see it too well. Looks like a deck, probably featuring a lot of cards Kaiba used in the anime. If we look down here, we also get a pretty nice looking holographic Blue Eyes White Dragon. Looks about 6 booster packs of Kaiba and Yugi. And right behind the starter deck, or booster deck, or whatever you want to call it, looks like a pretty decent sized Blue Eyes White Dragon. Though I don't think it's holographic, but it does look pretty nice. I might end up framing that. Now the thing is, with Kaiba's collector box, there is also a Yugi's collector box. And I've already opened that one like a couple months ago. It's around the first time I started doing YouTube, so I didn't really think of doing box openings or anything like that. But it basically came with the same stuff. A holographic Dark Magician, starter deck for Yugi, packs for Yugi and Kaiba, and this giant Dark Magician card right here. This one definitely isn't holographic. I don't know if you can see it too well in the light. But yeah, it's pretty nice, all things considered, and a very nice design. So I'm definitely going to hang it up somewhere, as well as the Blue Eyes deck. Or the Blue Eyes card, I mean. Alright, so let's go ahead, open it up, and see what we got in this box. And after taking off the plastic and everything, this is our end result. 6 individual packs, the card, the giant card, and the deck box. So I think what we're going to start off doing is probably showing off the Blue Eyes White Dragon card right here. Very nice holographic look to it. And it is a little curved. I guess that's the standard for most holographic cards. Might not look too curved in the video, but trust me, it is just a little. Overall, not bad. I don't know if I'm going to put it in any of my decks. I might just put that to the side. But, I don't know. It's definitely going into some kind of sleeve because it looks really nice. And let's remove this deck box. We'll check that out in a second. So what I really want to do is show off the giant Blue Eyes card right here. Again, not holographic, but it looks very nice. And when paired up side by side with a giant Dark Magician card, definitely frame-worthy, and I'm definitely going to hang it up on my wall somewhere. It looks really nice, and I actually noticed something just now. For Dark Magician, Spellcaster / normal. For Dragon, or the Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dragon / normal. Now, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I was a teenager, pretty much a preteen. And for normal cards like this, or normal monsters like these, it only had the type. It never said normal on the side either. So that's pretty interesting that they would include that. Nothing bad or anything like that, it's just, I never noticed it before. It even says that on the actual Blue Eyes White Dragon card. Let's see if we can zoom in. Right there. Definitely a new touch with a new series, so I definitely enjoy it. Okay, let's put everything aside. The next part in this unboxing comes Kaiba's starter deck, and looks like Kaiba Reloaded. So I actually am not familiar with the Reloaded versions, but if it's anything like the original Kaiba deck or the Evolution Kaiba deck, we might get something good. Okay, so after unboxing the deck, here's what came with it. Looks like a standard beginner's guide for Yu-Gi-Oh! Featuring Kaiba and Yugi, of course. And let's see. We also have this thing right here. Not sure if you can see it too well, but it basically says, like, oh, power up with packs. And it shows the different packs, different decks, like this one right here. Packs, this one right here. And if we open it up, it actually shows off quite a few other things too. Basically showing off like different things you can buy to power up your decks. More packs, more booster decks, some stuff here. And this one right here, Legendary Decks 2, those are pretty nice. I got those already, and again, this was way before I started YouTube. That came with pretty awesome cards, including a full set of Exodia and a few other nice ones, so yeah, there's always that. It also came with its own game mat. I don't know if I can get into the shot too well. I wish I had a better camera for this. Yeah, but basically that's it. Its own game mat, and the cool thing is, for those who are unfamiliar to Yu-Gi-Oh!, it actually shows like the different phases: draw, standby, main phase, battle phase, main phase 2, end phase, and all of your basic slots for monster, spell, and trap cards, deck zone, graveyard. Extra deck is over here, and field zone up here. And I've still got to remember, this is called extra deck now. Back in my day, it was just the fusion deck zone, because all we had were fusions. We didn't really have anything like XCs or stuff like that people have these days. So I got to remember, it's extra deck, not fusion deck anymore. And of course, with a starter deck box like that, we get an actual starter deck with a Blue Eyes White Dragon. I think that's a pretty good shot right there. And as you can see, it's very holographic. Like, not the whole card. Actually, it might just be the whole card. But the cool thing is, not only do we get one Blue Eyes here, but we got two. Let's see if I can get into a better shot. And they're both different versions of each other. One with the tablet in the background, one without it. I think this one right here came with the Kaiba Evolution deck. This one right here was released a few years after that as kind of like a promo card. And I never really got my hands on it until pretty recently. So it's nice we have another copy of that version. But with that out of the way, I'm going to open up this deck and see what cards we got. So starting off, our Blue Eyes White Dragon. Definitely going into a sleeve of some kind. Probably into one of my decks. Next one. Ooh, another less shiny Blue Eyes White Dragon. Same version as this guy, but like I said, less holographic. Next one is Aqua Mador. That's actually not a terrible card. I mean, the attack isn't all that great, but a pretty good defender nonetheless, with 2,000 defense right there. That's always nice. Lajin, Mystical Genie of the Lamp. Fairly basic, not bad for 1800 attack, level 4. Throw that into the field, no problem. Battle Ox, 1700, level 4. Again, not bad. Octoclops, 1800, level 4. Dragon Dwelling in the Cave, another good defender with 2000 defense, rank level 4. Luster Dragons, 1900 for level 4 drop. Definitely good. X-Head Cannon. You might be seeing a pattern here where it's basically all of Kaiba's monsters are mostly normal, they're mostly level 4, and they're mostly 1800. Like, between 17 to 1800, with the occasional 1900. Proof here, Mad Dog of Darkness, 1900, 4 stars. Forest Raider, 1900, 4 stars. Alexandrite Dragon, 2000, 4 stars. Only minor thing is 100 defense. Use Shield and Sword, and that dragon goes down. Watsitail Dragon, that's a really good one. Same problem as Alexandrite Dragon. Low defense, shield and sword, and this guy is no good, but for a level 6, I believe, yep, only costs 1 creature to sacrifice to bring him out, so that's not bad. Twin-headed Behemoth, 1500, pretty pretty good effect all around, level 3. Yomi Ship, pretty decent effect, 1400 defense, not bad for a 3-star. Desveral Imp, good effect, good attack. Decent defense, level 4. Kaiser Seahorse, level 4, 1700, and can basically be used to bring out a Blue Eyes, no problem. And it looks like we get another Kaiser Seahorse, so make that 2. And as proof, here's the other one, right here, right next to each other. So basically, 2 Blue Eyes, 2 sacrifices, no problem for 2. Basically, if you have 2 in your hand, sacrifice both of those, if you can on the same turn, and you get 2 Blue Eyes right on the field with only 2 sacrifices. Not bad. Then you got this guy right here, which I'm actually unfamiliar with. Chaos Necromancer. 1 star. The attack of this card is the number of monsters in your graveyard times 300. So overall, he's not bad if you plan on sending monsters to the graveyard, like one after another. Could be useful in the Fiend deck. What else we got? Ooh, this guy. Bladed Knight. 1600 attack. Let me get you some more centered. Warrior. While you have 1 or less cards in your hand, gains 400 attack. If you control no other monsters, negate the effects of flip effect monsters. Nice. So basically, if you have no monsters on the field or 1 or less cards in your hand, he's a good bet to go after your opponent with. Not bad at all. Ooh. Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 4. Now, leveling up monsters came out much later in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling life, and I didn't really know how these guys worked, but I've never had anything past level 4 for Black Flame Dragon. Overall, his effect isn't bad, his attack isn't bad, defense is lackluster, but definitely not bad for a dragon type. But it gets better because we now have Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 6. And his attack, 2300, defense 1600, unaffected by spells. And if we had a level 8, this deck would be so much more awesome. I don't think we do, unfortunately, but still, not bad. Next on our list, let's see here. Let's try to get a better look. Cybernetic Cyclopean. Not entirely bad. 1400, 4-drop. Gains 1000 attack if I have no other cards in my hand. So him paired up with, what was that warrior's name? Blade Knight? Not a bad combination for really good damage. Next up in the deck list, sorry if the camera turned or changed, we have Puppet Plant. Not familiar with this guy either. You can discard this card to the graveyard, target 1 warrior or spellcaster type monster and your opponent controls. Take control of that target till the end phase. That's actually not bad either. So essentially how this works is if you're fighting someone with a bunch of spellcasters or warriors, then you can sacrifice this guy, or discard him I should say, and you can take control of their more powerful warrior or spellcaster. So you have a chance of having a Dark Magician on your field if you're running this with Blue Eyes, as well as a Blue Eyes then. Not too bad, all things considered. Next up we have Des Mosquito. I don't know what this guy is either. 3-drop, or 3 stars, 500 attack, 500 defense. And this card is normal summoned, specials, or special summoned. Place 2 counters on it. It gains 500 attack for each of those counters, so it can go up to 1500. And if he would be destroyed, remove one of those counters instead. So basically, bring this out, you have a 1500 monster, and he basically can't be attacked or destroyed by traditional combat. Not bad at all. Next up, Tiger Dragon. Definitely a cool looking design. Let's see, 6 stars, 2400 attack. When this tribute is summoned by tributing a dragon type monster, you can target up to 2 face down spell or trap cards your opponent controls and destroy them. That's really nice. So if your opponent only has like a couple of spell or trap cards, or for example, if they have only 2 face down cards and you're really afraid of them, bring this guy out as soon as possible and they're gone. So that's nice if you need like a quick board wipe of some kind, or if you need to get rid of your opponent's defenses. Next one is Vanguard of the Dragon. Send 1 dragon type monster from your hand to the graveyard. The dragon's attack becomes 300. Oh no, gains 300 attack. When this card you control is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you can target 1 dragon type normal monster in either player's graveyard, special summon that target. So basically, say something happens to your Blue Eyes White Dragon, bring this guy out, and if he's ever sent to the graveyard, say your opponent decides to use Trap Hole or something like that, you can bring back your Blue Eyes no problem. Nice card. Definitely will consider putting him in my deck. And next up we have Divine Dragon Apocryph. Once per turn, discard a card, then target 1 dragon type monster in your graveyard, add that to your hand. Same deal with the last guy. If you have Blue Eyes in your graveyard, use him to bring it back. Nice. And the final monster in this deck, Interplanetary purple. Why am I having a tough time pronouncing this guy? Interplanetary purpley thorny dragon. Definitely a weird name. 5 stars, 2200 attack. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effects sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Nice! I mean, not bad. It's definitely conditional, but at the same time, if you have no monsters or any of your monsters are just destroyed by battle, bring this guy out for quick 2200 damage. And now we are moving on to spells. So basically we have here Dark Hole, everyone's favorite, destroys all monsters. Next card in the deck, Soul Exchange. Let me try holding from this side. There we go. Basically what this does is allows you to, well, say you need to sacrifice a monster for any reason. Soul Exchange will allow you to use an opponent's monster instead of your own, but if it's used to tribute summon a monster, you cannot attack in the same turn. So, not bad if you need a quick summon. Really good if you need a quick sacrifice, but cannot afford to lose any of your own. So, that's a really good card. Next comes Tribute to the Doomed. Basically, if you need to destroy your opponent's monster really quickly, discard 1 card and destroy that monster. No problem there if you don't mind losing monsters. And there's actually a card in this deck, I forgot the monster's name already, but it gains it like some odd amount of attack based on the amount of cards in your graveyard, or rather amount of monsters in your graveyard. So this card is really useful in that condition. Next up, Rush Recklessly. Target 1 face-up monster on the field, it gains 700 attack till the end of turn, and that little lightning bolt there means it's a quick effect, which means you can play it on just about any player's turn if you need that quick 700 attack. It could mean you win the duel or you lose the duel because of that 700 attack, so it's pretty nice. After that comes everyone's second favorite, Mystical Space Typhoon. Destroy 1 card or trap on the field, and yeah, that's it. A quick play spell, and you can destroy any magic or trap, or any spell or trap card on the field. Definitely a duelist's best friend, in my opinion. After that is Offerings to the Doomed. Target 1 face-up monster on the field, destroy that target, skip your next draw phase. So if there's a monster you really don't like on the field, use this card quickly. Yeah, you won't be able to draw next turn, but it's a good trade-off if you need to get rid of a monster quickly. After that is Stamping Destruction, one of my favorites. Basically, you can't use it unless you have a dragon-type monster, or at least you can't use its full effect without one. And what you can do is destroy a spell or trap card on the field and inflict 500 damage to its controller. So, say your opponent has something that prevents you from attacking. Use this card when you have a dragon on the field, and not only do they lose that card, but they take that 500 damage to the face. So it's one of my favorites and definitely not bad at all. Ooh, here is another somewhat favorite and any gamer's favorite card. Enemy Controller. Why is it every gamer's favorite card? Because the controller. And because of its effects. Activate one of these effects, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, change that target's battle position. So, say you're facing a Blue Eyes White Dragon and you play this card. That Blue Eyes has its attack negated for 1, and for 2, it goes into defense position. So that's not bad if you need a quick way out of a really tight situation. Otherwise, you contribute 1 monster, target 1 monster your opponent controls, and take control of the target until the end phase. So same situation, but if you have a Blue Eyes, or rather, if they have a Blue Eyes, why fight it when you can take control of it? Definitely a good one. Next is Burst Stream of Destruction. Only good when you have a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and basically annihilates your opponent's entire field of monsters. But other Blue Eyes White Dragons can't attack the turn you activate this card. So if you have a field of nothing but Blue Eyes and you use this card, it's no good. But if you have only one blue eyes on the field, then, your other monsters can attack, so that's a pretty good board wipe right there. Just gotta worry about spell and trap cards, but we have other solutions for that. Up next, Shrink. Target one face-up monster on the field. The original attack of that monster is half till end of turn. So again, fighting a blue eyes, no problem. Quick play Shrink, or quick activate Shrink, however you want to call it. And you're going from 3,000 attack to 1,500. Anything can beat it at that point. And up next, Shield Crush. I've never actually seen this card before. Target one defense position monster on the field and destroy that target. Nice! So if they have a pretty tanky wall or pretty beefy wall in front of you, or quite literally labyrinth wall, use this and that monster is gone. Not bad. Now what we have, Silent Doom. Target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it in face-up defense position. It cannot attack. Now I'm not sure if it can't attack ever or what, but again, not bad if you need your blue eyes back on the field. And if it can't attack, fuse it. And if you have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or other cards like it, just do it. Ooh, another favorite. Dragonic Tactics. Tribute 2 Dragon-type monsters. Special summon 1 level 8 Dragon-type monster from your deck. So it's basically summoning a Blue Eyes White Dragon. If you have 2 weak monsters on the field, use this and bring out your Blue Eyes. And the cool thing is, special summoning is different from normal summon. With normal summon, in case you viewers out there don't know how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is played, you can summon 1 monster per turn. That is, normal summon 1 monster per turn. You cannot do any additional summons except for fusion and or special summons of one type or another. So, say you have, I don't know, Luster Dragon on the field. Then you bring out Horus the Black Flame Dragon, like in the following turn. You can use Dragonic Tactics in that same turn, sacrifice those 2 normal summon monsters, and bring out a Blue Eyes in that same turn. So it's really, really not bad if you need a quick destroyer, basically. And the final spell card in this deck, Shard of Greed. Each time you draw a card for your normal draw in your draw phase, place 1 greed counter on this card. You can send this card with 2 or more greed counters to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. So fun story about this card. Basically, there's another card in the entire game, Pot of Greed. That card lets you draw 2 cards from your deck, and that's it. No other effects or anything like that. It's banned because, well, you draw free cards, like 2 cards for free. No problem whatsoever. This is basically Pot of Greed, but with some additional effects to make it less super powered. I'm not sure if I ever want to use this card, but it's not horrible. Alright, now let's start to our trap cards. And these are pink. Trap Hole. Whenever opponent normal flip summons 1 monster with 1,000 attack or more, target that monster and destroy that target. So basically, bring out a Blue Eyes or flip summon him or whatever, he's instantly gone. Next up is Sakuretsu Armor. You might have seen me use this in a duel against Edson if I upload that video by now. But basically, same principle. If they manage to get out of Blue Eyes, Trap Hole can't do anything about it if it's special summoned. But if it attacks, Sakuretsu Armor destroys it. It destroys any monster that attacks, basically. Next, Shadow Spell, one of my favorite trap cards. Basically, again, using a Blue Eyes as a reference, that 3,000 attack becomes 2,300, and even better, it can't attack or change its battle position. So if you have a Dark Magician and you just brought him out, Shadow Spell that Blue Eyes, and Dark Magician will eradicate him. Granted, it's only 200 point difference between attacks, but still, anything to take out a 3,000 attack monster is worth it, and Shadow Spell is just the card to do it. This card is a bit different. Let's see. Widespread Ruin. Let's get in the full shot. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy the attack position monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. So basically, if your opponent has a Blue Eyes White Dragon and another one with 3,000 attack, and he decides to declare an attack, you can use this card to wipe out either the Blue Eyes or the other 3,000 attack. Again, definitely not bad if your opponent attacks with pretty powerful monsters. Next, Threatening Roar. Your opponent cannot declare an attack this turn. Again, using the Blue Eyes reference, if they attack with that, or even if they plan on attacking and you know they're going to, use this card on their turn. They can't do anything for that turn. So not bad. Next card, Birthright. And that infinity symbol on the top right, like right here, that means this card will never leave the field unless it's destroyed. Activate this card by targeting one normal monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target in face-up attack position. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. When that monster leaves the field, destroy this card. So basically, if your Blue Eyes is sent to the graveyard, activate Birthright. And essentially what that does is your Blue Eyes is on the field until it's destroyed or until Birthright's destroyed. If one goes, the other goes. It doesn't make your monster invincible, but it's a pretty quick way to trap your opponent into, say, attacking your Blue Eyes by accident. Because trap cards, for those who don't know, can only be activated one turn after you've set it. And even then, most of the time, they're better off waiting until after your opponent starts his or her turn. And the last card in this deck looks like Damage Gate. Haven't seen this one before. When you take battle damage, target one monster in your graveyard with attack less than or equal to the amount of damage you took. Special summon that target. So if your opponent decides to deal 3,000 attack to you, or 3,000 damage to you, you can bring out your Blue Eyes from your graveyard? Yep. Or anything lower than 3,000. But the only thing is, I don't know if it's a cumulative damage. I'm not sure either way what it means, but I guess it's not bad. Okay, so now that that deck's been opened up, we got some pretty decent cards. I'm just happy for the Blue Eyes, and I think it was Horus, the Black Flame Dragon, level 6. So not bad. And the final piece to this collector's box is, well, I should say, 3 packs of Kaiba, 3 packs of Yugi. Let's start with Kaiba since it's his collector's box. First card is Familiar Knight. He's not bad for a 3-drop, or a 3 stars, I should say. Edson's got me addicted to that word. But he has a pretty good effect. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, each player can special summon one level 4 monster from their hand. So, say you have Blade Knight in your hand, and Familiar Knight's destroyed, you can special summon Blade Knight, I think. Yeah, Blade Knight. It took me a second. And effectively summon something else that same turn, or something. You never know, but definitely not a bad card. Next, Sagi the Dark Clown. If you've guys seen the anime, you know what this guy is. Definitely a freaky clown. 600 attack, 1500 defense, level 3. Not bad. He'll have his uses for card combos, but on his own, not the best. Up next, Interdimensional Matter Transporter. Target one face-up monster you control, banish that target until the end phase. Definitely not horrible, it's just, I don't have any uses for it. Basically, it'll protect your monsters if you need to save one for a special occasion. I'm just going to go ahead and show off these cards together because speed up the process, and packs only have like 5 cards total. But right here we have Hitatsumi Giant and Petin the Dark Clown. When Petin is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, or banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon one Petin the Dark Cloud from your hand or deck. So if you run 3 of these guys, you can bring out 2 more when he's destroyed. Hitatsumi Giant is 1200 attack, 4-drop, not horrible. Not the best, but not horrible. So that was pack number 1. Coming up in pack number 2 for Kaiba, we have, let's see where the camera is. Another Familiar Knight. He definitely looks very familiar. And number 2, Soggy the Dark Clown again. Anybody have deja vu? Huh. Intermatter Dimensional Transporter. Weird. For the record, I'm not even looking at these cards before I show them, so they're going to be just as much of a surprise to me as they are for you guys. So let's check out the next card in the pack. Where's the camera? Another Hitatsumi Giant? What? You guys seeing this, right? And, oh, Kaisher Glider. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster that is the same attack. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target one monster on the field, return that target to hand. So overall, not bad. 6 stars, 2400 attack, and has a pretty decent effect. He's going into my deck somewhere, I'm just not sure where. Or let alone what deck, I have no idea. And in pack number 3, we have, Lord of Dragons, a pretty good one. 1200 attack, 4 stars, and basically dragons cannot be targeted by spells, traps, or card effects. He still can, but other dragons can't, so that's not bad. Next up, Cloning. I've never seen this card. When your opponent normal summons or flip summons a monster that has a level, obviously, target the face-up monster, special summon one clone token with the same original type, attribute, and everything else. That target is, or when that target is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, destroy this token. So, if your opponent has a Blue Eyes, clone that Blue Eyes, and you control yours until the original is destroyed. I guess it's not horrible. Sword Stalker. 6 stars, 2000 attack, 1600 defense. I kind of wish he wasn't 6 stars. I wish he was 4, but that's not horrible. Not really. White Dragon Ritual. So, in Yu-Gi-Oh!, there's certain different types of monsters that can be special summoned. There's monsters with like a blue background. Like this one has green, and there's others that have blue. And use this card, you can sacrifice a certain amount of monsters that equal up a certain amount of stars. And you can special summon a monster associated with the ritual. In this case, that would be Paladin of White Dragon. And he can bring out Blue Eyes no problem. So, not bad for the ritual, if only you had the monster to go with it. Which I believe in Yugi's collector box, I did get Paladin of White Dragon, so not bad. And finally, Paladin of White Dragon, nice! Read the effect down here. Ritual summon this card. If it attacks a face-down defense monster, destroy that monster. Even if he has an effect, I don't think it's negated, or I don't think it's activated. And you contribute this card to special summon one Blue Eyes White Dragon from my hand or deck, but the Blue Eyes White Dragons cannot attack for the rest of the turn. So that's a shame, but overall not bad. And his attack isn't bad either, so yay! So that would be it for Kaiba's booster packs. Up next is Yugi's. Now, for those who don't know who Kaiba and Yugi are, we've seen cards in Kaiba's deck that are more... monsters are more powerful, and spell and trap cards destroy more than anything. With Yugi, he's more strategic. So odds are we'll be getting more monsters that have probably more strategic-based effects. Not so much that they're powerful, but they can do other stuff despite the fact they may or may not be powerful. So with Yugi's pack 1 open, let's see what we got. Red Gadget, that's the perfect example. Attack 1300, defense 1500. A bit on the weak side, but if we normal or special summon this particular monster, we can add 1 yellow gadget from your deck to your hand. So if you have no other monsters besides Red Gadget, and he's just normal summoned, then you have a backup monster to use after him. Likewise, if he's special summoned, you can bring Yellow Gadget to your hand, and normal summon Yellow Gadget alongside Red Gadget. So that's not bad either. Next is Brain Control, one of my other favorites. Now, it's not really a useful card because you have to pay 800 life points. But you can take control of an opponent your monster... you can take control of a monster your opponent controls only until the end of the end phase. So it's not a permanent control, but it's not bad in its own right. I just don't like paying 800 life points to do it when there are other cards that can do it for free. Up next, Marshmallow. Definitely not bad either. 300 attack, 500 defense, 3 stars. After damage calculation, if this card was attacked and was face down at the start of the damage step, the attacking player takes 1000 damage, cannot be destroyed by battle. So unless your opponent has something that can destroy monsters like a spell or trap card, this guy is your ultimate defender, cannot be destroyed, especially in defense mode, and if your opponent doesn't know he's attacking it, so if he was face down your opponent attacks, they will instantly take 1000 life points. Not bad at all. Ooh, this is so nice. Sorcerer of Dark Magic. I have one exactly like this, but not holographic like this. Take a closer look. 3200 attack, 28 defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stars. So pretty hard to get out. Cannot be normal summoned or special summoned. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be set special summoned from your hand by attributing 2 level 6 or higher spellcaster type monsters, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. During either player's turn, when a trap card is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. So, basically, your opponent cannot activate a trap card, and yeah, basically your opponent cannot activate a trap card. So that's a pretty good way to lock down your opponent, and they'll have to rely on spell cards only. But there are other cards that negate spell cards, so combine that card with this guy, and your opponent is in a monster lockdown. The only way around it is to either destroy him or destroy the other card, but it's virtually impossible to do when both are on the field. The only downside is right here. Let's see if we can read it. Focus, camera. Requires 2 level 6 or higher spellcaster type monsters to be normal summoned or set. Or even then, no, it can only be special summoned so through that only method. So definitely a good card to have, just difficult to bring out. But so glad I even have him. And finally, Green Gadget. It goes with the red gadget, but as you can see at the bottom, you can normal summon, or if this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 red gadget from your deck to your hand. So use this guy to bring out red gadget, use red gadget to bring out yellow gadget, and yellow gadget will bring out green gadget. So if you have all 3, you got a pretty good triple combo right there. Okay, here comes Yugi's Pack 2 with Brain Control. Stronghold the Moving Forest, or Fortress. Looks like it has something to do with the red, green, and yellow gadgets. Special summon this card in defense position as an effect monster. Level 4, 0 attack, 2000 defense. Not bad defender. It's also a trap card, so your opponent can still destroy it with cards that destroy traps. While you control a green, red, and yellow gadget, this card gains 3000 attack. So special summon 2 of the 3 gadgets, have them bring out the 3rd gadget, normal summon the 3rd gadget, special summon him, and you have a pretty hefty powerhouse right there. The only tricky thing is trying to get the 3 gadgets on the field at once, but overall not bad if you can do it. The 3rd card in the pack, King's Knight. Not bad at all. 4 stars, 1600 attack. When this card is normal summoned, sorry if my hand is like in the way. When this card is normal summoned and you control Queen's Knight, you can special summon 1 Jack's Knight from your deck. So if you have King's Knight with Queen's Knight and Jack's Knight, then that's a pretty good triple combo right there too. And they're more effective when you're trying to bring out like Egyptian god cards or the like, because they require 3 tributes. So King's Knight is the way to go. Otherwise, not a bad warrior with that attack. And ooh, here we have Yellow Gadget. Like I said, he'll bring out Green Gadget. And overall, we got the entire combo, so not bad at all. And finally, the staple of Yugi's deck, Dark Magician. Only the name is holographic, but 2500 attack, you honestly can't go wrong with the Dark Magician. He is one of my favorite monsters. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, we're on to the final pack of this collector's box. And the first card we're looking at is Big Shield Gardna. Not horrible. 4 stars, 100 attack, 2600 defense. During either player's turn, when this face down card and no other cards is targeted by a spell card, change this card to face down defense position, and if you do, negate the spell card's activation. If this card is attacked, change it to attack position at the end of the damage step. So basically, if it's targeted by a spell, he goes to defense mode. If he's targeted by an attack, he stays in defense mode, but shifts to attack mode at the end. So it's kind of risky, but he's not a bad defender overall, and at least he only goes into attack position at the end after being targeted by an attack, so it's not bad. I mean, he's cool looking, he's got pretty good defense for a 4-drop, so he could be useful somewhere. Next, Queen's Knight. Let's see, 4 stars, 1500 attack, normal monster. Again, if you have Jack's Knight or King's Knight, she will go very well with those other two. Diffusion Wave Motion, nice! You have to pay 1,000 life points. Target 1 level 7 or higher spellcaster type monster you control. Only that monster can attack, but it must attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. The effects of monsters destroyed by these attacks do not activate and are negated. So if your opponent has nothing but face down man-eater bugs, which, for those who don't know, whenever a man-eater bug is flipped face up, that controller of that monster can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. Diffusion Wave Motion, however, will negate effects like that and eliminate man-eater bug right on the spot, no loss to you whatsoever. So it's not bad, except with 1,000 life point loss, and you can't attack with any other monsters. But still, pretty good board wipe. And we have another red gadget, not bad. Kind of sad to know we're at the end of the pack, though, and this is all we get. And our final card, Monster Reborn. Another tournament banned card, but you can special summon 1 monster from either player's graveyard onto your field. So it's a pretty good card if you need your Dark Magician, your Blue Eyes, or your opponent's Dark Magician or Blue Eyes. So overall, not bad. So to recap, with Kaiba's collector box, you get 6 booster packs, 1 structured deck with Kaiba's cards, and a giant Blue Eyes White Dragon. Or with Yugi's collector's box, you get a giant Dark Magician. And with either of them, you get these awesome cards here and over here. Plus a nice, well, for the most part, a pretty nice deck with a nicely foiled, I don't know what you want to call it, iconic monster for whoever's collector box you got. And I only paid, I want to say $20 for the collector box, so it's not bad. If you sell these cards on Amazon or eBay, I don't know if you would get your money back, but it can't hurt to try, see what you get. And with that, I think that's all I have to say. So, yeah, there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Tabletop Session. I'm going to be doing more unboxings like this from now on. If not with cards, then definitely with other things in general. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, world!